SCO summit will take place in Astana next week with the participation of the leaders of the countries members of our organization. Prior to the summit, Silkway TV channel has started to broadcast series of jointly produced programs with China Global Television Network, CGTN. Now I'm inviting you to watch a special studio segment, teleconference between Astana and Beijing on the SCO summit agenda. Hello, you're watching Silkway TV channel. I am Anuri Mangali and this is my colleague Dauren Isagulov. Welcome to this special teleconference between Silkway TV channel in Astana and China Global Television Network, CGTN, based in Beijing.
Today we gather to discuss the highly anticipated 2024 summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, set to take place in Astana on July 3rd and 4th. Under the theme Strengthening Multilateral Dialogue, Striving for Sustainable Peace and Development, this year's summit is poised to address key issues such as economic cooperation, regional security and digital transformation. And
let me introduce you our guest today, Yersultan Jansiitov, head of the Chinese and Asian Studies program at Institute of World Economics and Politics. He's joined us today in Silkway studio. He's ready to share his expertise on the crucial issues of the upcoming summit of the SCO. Thank you, Yersultan, for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting.
And we're also joined by our colleagues from CGTN. Hello, colleagues. Great to have you with us today.
Hello from Beijing, China. I am CGTN reporter Yang Chengxi. Over the past decades, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has not only made significant contributions to regional security, but has also evolved with a vision of fostering a closer community with a shared future. Its focus has broadened to encompass areas such as the digital economy, finance, free trade, transportation, and energy. To explore how this cooperation can be further enhanced, we are honored to have with us in our Beijing studio Dr. Xu Wenhong, a researcher at the Institute of Russian, East European, and Central Asian Studies of the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. And additionally, we look forward to sharing our insights with you in the Silkway TV studio in Astana.
Thanks, colleagues. And let me start our discussion asking you, Mr. Jansiitov, about recent SCO foreign ministers meeting. In short, what was the main issues on the agenda? And based on that, what might we expect to see at the upcoming SCO head of states meeting?
Thank you. Yeah, of course, the meeting was very important. We can say that the meeting was summing up the one-year work that was done within the SCO. More than 22 documents were signed. And the meeting was like the general preparation for the upcoming summit. As the General Secretary of SCO, Mr. Zhang Min, has noticed, more than 160 events were being held during this year. So I think that the year where Kazakhstan was leading the SCO, it was quite fruitful, and the main priorities for Kazakhstan was transportation, energy sector, and digital transformation. Also, one of the key interests of Kazakhstan is developing the cybersecurity sector.
And let us talk a little bit about the history of this organization. How has the SCO evolved since its creation in 2001, and what have been the most significant milestones in its development?
Well, since the very beginning, there were like the format was 5+1, like 5 post-Soviet countries and China. And now we can see that almost half of the planet, the population of the planet, is in the SCO, and SCO's GDP is equal to the quarter of the world. So I think the SCO is the success story. And we can say that the milestones of the SCO from the very beginning is the mutual respect, non-interference to each other's internal and external politics, and all the countries share the same values like fighting three evils: terrorism, separatism, and extremism.
Thanks, colleagues. I suggest now to hear from CGTN. Yang, giving the floor back to you.
Thank you, Ainur and Dorian. Now, Dr. Xu, let's pick up the discussion here. What do you think have been the consistent themes from the results of previous SCO summits?
I would say the consistent themes of the previous summit of the SCO are security and development. At the very beginning, the predecessor of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Shanghai Five, was set up to solve both issues in 1996. But in the consequent years, more and more common sense will get reached. The security and development become a main topic of all these previous summits. Even after several years, in 2017, 2022, when India, Pakistan, Iran joined this organization. With now, at this time, Shanghai Cooperation Organization already has 9 full members, 3 observer states, and 14 dialogue partners, but seems still not changed. Security and development would be the consistent theme of this organization.
So security and development. Yes. Yeah. Now let's start with security. Given the rapidly shifting global geopolitical dynamics in the recent years, what do you think have been the most significant challenges to regional security?
Actually, there are 4 main threats to this organization that are terrorism, drug crime, transnational organized crime, and information security. Among these 4 main threats to this organization, terrorism is the top priority. So at this time, among these 4 main threats to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, works on counter-terrorism would be the top priority for Shanghai Cooperation Organization.
Thank you very much for your analysis, Dr. Xu. Now, we'll come back to this later, but right now we have a question for Mr. Janzetov in the Astana studio as well. So we are curious to know how Kazakhstan sees its role in regional economic cooperation, especially leveraging the framework of the SCO.
Thank you. Yeah, I would like to say that we see that the world is changing. As Mr. Xi Jinping has said many times, we see the change in the world that were not happening for 100 years. And now we see that the economic development is moving towards Asia more and more. And Kazakhstan is located exactly in the middle of Eurasian continent. So naturally, the circumstances and the economic agenda comes towards Kazakhstan as well, and we are in the middle of the development process. So the priorities for Kazakhstan, first of all, is transport connectivity. Like, given the fact that we are in the middle of the largest continent in the world, we need to be interconnected with everyone. The second is energy cooperation. Kazakhstan is strong in exporting energy resources, oil, gas, and uranium. And the third is, of course, one of the most important topics is digital transformation. Today we see that most of the processes are being digitalized. All the businesses are working faster and more efficient. And the other topic comes together with the digital transformation, the cybersecurity issue. So given all of that, it's not the whole complete list, of course, but that pretty much forms up the interests of Kazakhstan in SCO. Thank you.
Yes, and I would like to continue on that. As a global player, SCO obviously is willing to expand its influence. Belarus probably will join the SCO this summer. So what other candidates come to your mind, and what would that mean for the SCO's future? Yeah,
talking about the other candidates, I think strong candidates would be Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and other countries from the Gulf states like Qatar, or maybe United Arab Emirates. So we can see the strong interconnectedness of the economics here. China is the giant economy in Eurasia, in the whole world. It's the second largest economy, and it's natural that it consumes lots of energy. So the top priority for the Chinese side is energy security. And those countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other Gulf countries are really like famous and strong in the energy sector, like exporting their energy resources. In that regard, there are initiatives in SCO, like Energy Hub, to developing this kind of initiatives. I think that benefits everyone, especially Kazakhstan, given our location, we're close to China, and Turkey. Turkish leader Mr. Erdogan, he was always showing like big interest in joining SCO, being the part of this big family, of the Eurasian family. I think those countries would be like natural members of SCO in the future.
May I ask you, what criteria does the organization use to evaluate new potential members?
The countries should not be hostile to each other. They should share common values, like as I've mentioned before, like fighting against terrorism, separatism, extremism. They should share the common values like development. How do they see the development in their own national agendas and in the international level?
Yes, and now let me have a question for Dr. Xu in Beijing studio. This year, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Kazakhstan and other Central Asian countries. He had also meetings with officials from the SCO member states. Can we say about specific interest in Central Asia from official Beijing?
China wants to have a good relationship with its neighbors. China wants Central Asian states to be its good friends, good neighbors, good partners. So in this way, China wants to have a good relationship with the Central Asia countries, especially Kazakhstan. Secondly, since 2012, China proposed One Belt, One Road initiative, and Kazakhstan and Central Asia are the premier and core region of the Belt and Road Initiative. So without a good development of Kazakhstan and Central Asian states, there would be no success of the Belt and Road Initiative. Thirdly, China also proposed community with a shared future for mankind, and China wants to set a good sample for the world of the community with a shared future for mankind. So that's why China attaches such attention to Central Asia and Kazakhstan, especially Kazakhstan, and that's why the interaction between China and Kazakhstan so actively. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Xu, let's pick up the discussion here. Now, the SCO is distinguished by the concept of the so-called Shanghai spirit. Now, President Xi Jinping has urged all members to embody it while fostering the steady development of the SCO. So how has the meaning and significance of the so-called Shanghai spirit evolved over the years?
The core meaning of the Shanghai spirit means mutual respect, mutual benefit, equality, consultation, respect for the diversity of civilizations, pursue common development. Actually, at the very beginning, Shanghai Cooperation Organization put much attention to the security and development. But after several years, with the two enlargement, with more and more members becoming in it, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the spirit of Shanghai Cooperation Organization was widely accepted by all these new members and even more candidate members. So that means Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Shanghai SCO spirit become widely accepted, and the Shanghai Cooperation become a more important international player on the international arenas.
Now let's give the floor again to our colleagues in the Astana studio.
Mr. Zhansitov, our colleagues in Beijing and us, we already mentioned security threats in the region. May I ask you, what improvements can be made to ensure the stability in the region?
In my point of view, there are still threats like terrorism in our regions, like what happened in Moscow not so long ago. It proves that there is a big threat still exists. And I think the way to solve that is sharing more information within the SCO countries. So the more the members are informed about what's happening in their own countries and what kind of risk we can see like in the international arena, the more safe we are. And the other thing, as I've already mentioned, is the cybersecurity. Today, the cyber risks are as devastating and as dangerous as like actual military attacks. So we should bring that question on the other level, and we should develop like rules and regulations within the SCO, so everyone could feel safe within the organization. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sultan, for giving us this interesting insights on the topic we discussed today. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. SCO Summit will start its work very soon here in Astana. We will be following its agenda very closely. And for now, I want to thank all of our experts and my colleagues for joining the special segment on Silk Way TV channel.
Yes, indeed. Our discussion today brought some valuable perspectives on the range of topics related to the present and future of Shanghai Cooperation Organizations. Thank you very much, Jan and Dr. Sui, for your participation for this teleconference. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Einar Andurian and Mr. Zhansitov in the Astana studio, and thank you, Dr. Xu, for providing your insights. We've thoroughly enjoyed this discussion.